Welcome and thank you for joining this evening. Um, we will, if you have a pillow, we can use that now to sit on, and we can use it to help tilt our pelvises forward. So this is a nice trick to help us get a little bit more length in the spine. It's kind of sitting on the edge of the pillow, and that will help us lengthen up through the spine. For our seated, we're going to start with some breath work this evening. But just to start, as always, please listen to your body. If I'll be making suggestions throughout the class as to different movements we will make, but if it doesn't feel good for you, please just back up or do something else. A nice resting pose is child's pose, or if you feel like doing a little bit something more active, you could rest in downward dog, either of those options, or whatever feels good for you. So yes, please listen to your body, make it feel good. No need to push anything. And this evening, yeah, we're going to start with a little bit of breath meditation, breath work called pranayama, just to help us get into this moment. Let us relieve whatever has brought us here today, and just coming into this present moment, feeling our roots on the mat. So let's bring our eyes to close if that feels comfortable. Feel the length in the spine. Just feeling the breath getting a little bit deeper as we arrive in this moment. This breath meditation, I was just reading, there was just a study done. This is a pretty simple breath meditation. It can be done whenever you think about it, whenever throughout the day. Maybe you want to be alone because we're going to make a little bit of noise. But whatever feels comfortable, but it's just a nice invitation to come back to the present moment. So this study found that this specific breath work could help people feel less stress and a little bit more happy throughout the day when they compared it to other types of breath meditation and or just meditation. So let's get started. It's a simple breath meditation. We're going to inhale deeply into our bellies and feel the expansion deep into our lower bellies. And then we're going to open our mouths and we're going to make a noise like a sigh or an exhale, an audible exhale, and exhale for longer than the inhale. So that's all the instruction for the breath um, work that we will do tonight. So let's get started. And we can get started just by exhaling all breath out. Inhale, long, slow, and deep, all the way into the lower belly. Feel the expansion. Inhale. And then open the mouth and let it go. Ha. And we can just do that on our own for a couple cycles of breath. Just making the exhale longer than the inhale. Couple more times, just like that. Coming back to the regular in and out breath. Linking the breath to movement is what we will do next. So when you're ready, you can open the eyes and moving nice and slow to start. We'll bring the pillow out from underneath us and we'll move into a child's pose. And I think that somebody is not on mute. I will
Oh,
just,
it's me.
it's okay. I got it. Let's come into child's pose when we're ready. Bringing our seat to our heels and our forehead down to the earth. Let's start with a gentle rock back and forth if that feels nice, or staying still if that feels better for you. Coming back to the breath, feeling the release in the lower back, letting the forehead come towards the mat. Let's bring the left hand over to the right side of the mat, finding a nice opening through that left side waist as we press the left hand into the mat and the right hip back and down. Slowly coming back to center, and we're going to bring the right hand over to the left and open up through the right side body. Once again, using the right hand to press into the mat, right hip over back towards the back of the mat and over towards the left. Opening up through the right side waist. Eyes can be closed here if that feels good. Nice couple cleansing breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up onto all fours and tuck the toes here. Just for a moment, we're going to tuck the toes and enter into our cat-cow. So inhale into cat. So we're rounding through the spine. And then exhale, bringing the chest through the shoulders. Gentle gaze up and then moving with your breath back into cat when you're ready. Inhaling. Exhaling, coming through. Gentle movements of the spine to start this evening. We'll do that one more time. And then exhale, come on through. This time now we're going to come up onto our toes, up into downward dog, and start our little bit of a flow with 3 options. Option 1, we come into plank pose, down into child's pose, and then back up into downward facing dog. That's option 1. Option 2, come into plank pose, and then back up into downward facing dog. And then option 3, right leg goes up and back and then comes forward as we come into plank pose. And you choose your option now. If you're with the right leg up, we're going to come back up one more time and then come on through to plank with that right leg coming forward. Come on back one more time and come on through to plank pose. On your time, whichever option you've chosen, with your right leg up, we're going to do it one more time, coming through into plank, coming back up into downward dog now. Left leg goes up, we're switching sides. Left leg comes forward into plank pose and back up for downward dog with left leg up, forward, inhale, exhale. One last time, whatever option you've chosen. And then exhale, come on through, and we'll meet back into child's pose when you're ready. Pause and breathe here. From here, we're just going to come on up, bring the right foot forward, the left foot forward into our forward fold. Inhale, arms coming up, and back down to heart center. Now we're going to face the long side of our mat with a nice wide stance for standing flow this evening. So we're going to keep a bend in the knees. This is our Tai Chi warm-ups, grounding breath. So we're going to move our arms with the breath. So it's inhale, arms come up and around, big circle, exhale, bending the knees, pushing the arms down. Ha. Inhale, big circle. Gathering in the earth's energy, and exhale something you do not need. Inhale, one more time. And then exhale down. From here, we're going to pivot our right foot forward and our left leg back and up into our high lunge, facing the right knee bent. Inhale to your heart. And then exhale, push it away. So we're gliding through space. Inhale. Feel that balloon open in your chest. And exhale, let it go. Press it away. Inhale one more time. And then exhale, press it away. Inhale, hands to cactus at the top of the mat, the long side, the wide side of our mat. And we're just going to switch sides, bending through the left knee, right heel up, off the mat in our high lunge to the back side of the mat. Inhale to your heart. And then exhale, press it away. Inhale to your heart. Exhale, press it away. One more time. Inhale, bringing in the love and beautiful energy of the earth. And then exhaling something you do not need. Inhale, back to the wide stance in cactus arms. We're going to inhale, bring our hands down through heart center. And then inhale one more time. And we're going to make an X across our bodies, and we're going to fold forward into our wide leg forward fold. Here, let's press our feet into the earth. Let's keep our legs slightly bent. Lengthen out through the crown. Take deep inhales into the lower back, and then when you're ready, you exhale and fold a little bit deeper. Fingertips can be on the ground. Hands could be on the ground. Whatever feels right for you. It's all good. Let's walk our fingertips over to the left leg. Lengthen through the crown and inhale. And then exhale, press the left hip back. Let's gently walk those hands over to the right side of right foot. Once again, lengthen through the crown and press, inhale, and then press the right hip back. Nice. Let's gently bring our left foot up to meet the right at the top of the mat in our standing forward fold. And inhale slowly, coming up one vertebrae at a time. Hands come up and overhead. Let's open up again. Just a slight opening of the chest up to the ceiling and the sky above. And then exhale, hands come down. Heart center, pause and breathe. Eyes can be closed just for a moment here. Finding our roots once again before we move on. And we start our standing flow, balancing pose flow. So from here, let's press our right foot into the earth and lengthen up through the crown, finding our balance, bringing our left knee up towards our chest, finding our balance here. Finding a spot to gaze about 2 feet in front of you that's not moving to help keep our balance as we bring our left foot back into our left hand, keeping the right knee slightly bent, pressing the left leg up and back into dancer's pose. We're opening up the front body here. We can bring our right arm up and overhead if that feels good. Continue to breathe. Continue to gaze at your drishti, it's called. It's where your glance is to help keep your balance. One spot, also pressing the right foot into the earth, lengthening up through the crown. Long deep breaths. And from here, we're going to gently release the left leg. We're going to keep the left leg up and back, and we're going to press it up and back into warrior 3. Arms can be out in front of you by your ears or behind you. Another option would be to tap your foot on the earth and then just bring it up in little spurts. We don't want anyone to fall. Pressing our legs back, lengthening through the crown. One more breath here. Left leg comes down gently into our high lunge. So left toes are on the earth. Left heel's up off the mat. Right leg is bent in our high lunge, facing the right knee. Arms can come up and overhead if that feels good. Otherwise, hands could be on the hips. And once again, we're opening up through this left hip flexor area. Relaxing through the shoulders. Nice. Let's cartwheel gently our left arm back and our left heel onto the mat as we come into warrior two. Right knee is over the right ankle and we're pressing the inner thighs back, out and back in this pose. We're pressing the feet into the earth. We're lengthening up through the crown and arms are nice and wide. Gaze, drishti is over that right middle finger. Getting stronger, finding our inner warriors. All peaceful warriors here, I'm sure. Let's bring this right arm inside the right knee and then bring our left arm up and overhead. We're pressing through the earth. We're lengthening out through this left fingertips. Nice, bright, strong left fingertips. Left foot's pressing into the mat. And gently, let's bring that left arm back and right arm up. Just to transition, cartwheel back, our arms back up to the top of the mat. And however we get there, it's all good. I'm going to turn around because we're going to do the next side. We're going to do all of that on the other side now. So let's come back to the heart center, hands in heart center. Pause and breathe. Let's find both feet on the mat, shoulders up and back. Lengthen up through the crown. We start with our foundation. Left foot pressing into the earth. Right knee comes up towards the chest. And we find our gaze once again. Now let's bring that right foot back into our right hand. Kicking up and back. Slight bend in the left knee. As we press the foot down, we inhale. And then exhale, lengthen up through the crown, pressing up and back with the right foot into that right hand. Left arm can come up. Beautiful dancers we have here. And if we fall out, we just come on back. It is all good. And from here, let's gently release that right leg. And then we're going to press the left leg down and left foot into the earth. Press the right leg up and back for warrior three. Lengthen out through the crown, pressing through the legs. Fingertips can be behind you or in front of you. Whatever feels right for you tonight. Long, slow breaths, working on our balance here. Getting stronger. Now the left toes can come down to the earth into our high lunge. As controlled as we can with those toes coming down. High lunge. Left toes are on the earth. Left heel is up. Right knee is bent. Facing the right knee for our high lunge. Opening up through the right hip flexor. We can bring the arms up and overhead if we like, or we can keep our hands on our hips. The main goal of this pose is to open up through the right hip flexor. Press, keeping strong in the legs, pressing down through the feet. Inhale. And then exhale, lengthen up through the crown. Try your arms up and overhead if you feel like adding a little bit on. If you notice any pinching in the low back, please come up a little bit higher and don't bend down back so far. We're not supposed to be feeling any pinching in the low back here. Cartwheeling the right arm back now and the right heel onto the earth, opening up into our warrior two. Pressing the toes. So we have our left knee forward and our right foot's on the earth. And it's in on an angle for warrior two. So the right foot's in on an angle for warrior two. There's a slight bend in the left knee here. And we're open to the wide side of our mats. Our arms are out and our gaze is over the left middle finger. We want nice, strong arms. Yeah, nice. Gaze over that left middle finger, relaxing through the shoulders as we press our feet into the earth. This looks like a simple pose, but there's actually a lot going on. So if it takes a little while to get it, that's completely normal. That is a-okay. Let's bring our left elbow inside the left knee. We're going to use that left elbow to press the left knee back. We're going to open up. We're going to bring our right arm up and overhead. We're going to inhale and press the right foot into the earth. And then exhale, lengthen out through these right fingertips. Lengthen up and out. Relaxing through the shoulders if we're holding on to tension there. Bringing the breath nice, long, slow, and deep. Standing sequences are almost done. This is the last one. One more breath. Cartwheel the right arm back. Left arm up and overhead. Peaceful warrior. Just to help us get back to standing. Cartwheeling the hands back and up as we bring our right foot forward to meet the left at the top or the back of the mat, whichever it may be. Pause and breathe once again. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, left leg goes back. Right leg goes back to meet it. We bring our knees all the way to the earth and then our whole body's all the way down. Exhale. Inhale for baby cobra, just a slight opening here. And then exhale. Let's come on back into downward facing dog. Let's bring the left leg up and back and then step it through, all the way through in between your hands. Help it along with your hand if you need. Let's bring our right knee down to the mat and bring our left foot over to the right side of the mat. Now this left foot might be more in line with the top of your mat, or your left foot might come towards your right hip like mine does. We're going to untuck the toes in the back. We're going to use our fingertips in front of us. We're going to press our bodies up and back. We're pressing our feet into the earth, our tops of our feet into the mat. We're using our fingertips out in front of us to help us press our bodies up and back as we come into pigeon pose. When we start to feel the right hip flexor, this is where we pause. And if this hurts the knees, you can do this one on your back as well. You just cross your left ankle over your right knee. For those of you in pigeon, stay here and just breathe where it feels good. Maybe come down a little bit further when you feel it's ready. If it's too much for your knees, you can follow me now. Let's lay on our backs, and we're just going to bring the left ankle to the right knee and bring our hands through behind our right knee. So here we're clasping behind the right thigh. We're using our left elbow to press the left thigh back. Breathe. Flex through the feet here. And you keep on breathing here, bringing your right knee closer to you as you want to get deeper into this pose. Stay there if that feels good. And now for everyone else, if you're here in pigeon on the left, let's bring that booty back high up to the sky, and we're just going to switch sides. So bring the right leg up and back and through, bringing your left knee down. But if this is too much for the knees, again, you could stay on your back and do on the other side. Otherwise, right foot comes over to the left side for pigeon on the other side. Using our fingertips once again to press our bodies up and back. Using the tops of our feet to press into the mat. Using our fingertips in front of us to press ourselves to up and back as we come down into pigeon pose on the other side. And now if you were on your back, you could just switch sides here and do pigeon on the other side, lying back. If anyone has knee injuries, that's a much better option. It's a much safer option for our knees. But we can also help keep our knees safe in this version by pressing the tops of our feet into the mat. You might notice with each exhale, you can come down a little bit further into the pose. The body might let you in a little bit further. Closing the eyes now if that feels good. Bringing the breath to long, slow, and deep towards that right hip flexor. When you exhale, let's breathe. Let's open the mouth. Let it go. Letting go of any stress that we store in the hips all day long without even realizing it. And release when you're ready. We're going to come back up and bring the right foot back. just to bring our knees down to the earth. We're going to lay down on our bellies now, coming all the way down to the mat. Let's set up with like this, bringing our forearms onto the mat with our elbows underneath our shoulders. We're setting up for Sphinx pose here. Our hands are nice and bright, like big stars, gripping into the mat. So they're going to grip into the mat, pressing our hands back as our chest comes through for Sphinx pose. Gaze is straight ahead. So we're pressing, once again, we're pressing the tops of our feet into the mat. We're lengthening up and out through the crown, opening up through the front body here in Sphinx pose. Gaze is forward. And once again, we shouldn't feel any pinching in the lower back. If we do, we just come down a little bit further. We don't go so deep into the pose. We're trying not to clench onto the butt cheeks too much here either. Nice long deep breaths. And slowly release. Let's bring one cheek onto the mat and just wiggle out the hips. Let that go. Let's try another pose here to open up through the upper body. This is called puppy pose. So we're going to keep our knee here perpendicular. We're going to bring the hands out in front of us, and we're going to bring the chest towards the earth. So once again, we're opening up through that upper chest. Our butt's going up towards the ceiling, and our chest is coming towards the mat. We're using our hands to press into the mat. Long, slow, deep breaths. This might feel a little bit intense, especially if we haven't been doing this kind of a movement. One more breath here. From here, coming back up to tabletop. Let's do another one for our legs. We're going to sit back on our heels in hero's pose. And like we could tuck our toes here too. Sitting for a moment. And if it doesn't feel like enough, we can come back onto our fingertips and open up and back. If that's too much though, we could just stay right here. This might be enough of a stretch right here. And we can play with this too, with the tucking of the toes. Also, we can let that go, the tucking of the toes. And just sit on our heels. Maybe trying to go back once again, if that feels nice. Opening up and back. Whatever it is we choose, just keeping that breath nice, long, slow, and deep. And when you're ready, we'll bring the hands out in front, and the seat will go up and back. Last downward dog of the night, just to step on through to have a seat. From here, let's do one twist, two more positions tonight. Let's leave the left leg out. Let's bring the right foot up and over. And from here, we can clasp on to this right knee. Right arm goes up and overhead as we twist around the right knee. Lengthen up through the crown. Pressing the sit bones into the earth. Twisting from the chest here. If you feel like adding on, you could bring your left heel towards your right butt cheek or just leave it straight out if your both butt cheeks need to be on the earth in this twist. So if that can't happen with this left heel towards your right butt cheek, then keep that left foot out straight. And release. Let's try the other side. Right leg up and out to start. Right leg out to start. Finding both those sits bones on the earth once again, lengthening up through the crown. Right arm comes around the left leg as we twist. Left leg or left arm goes up and back, and we twist towards the left. If you feel like adding on, we can bring this right heel towards our left butt cheek and keep twisting towards the left. We're using our left arm here to clasp on, or sorry, this is our right arm, to clasp onto our left knee and pull gently up and back, pressing the left hip into the mat. And release. Now we're going to lie on back. Last pose of the night. Let's make it gentle. So we have our blocks. Let's bring our knees towards our hips, setting up for a restorative bridge pose. So let's get our block or a pillow, and we can put it underneath, right where our low back meets our bum, that like our sacrum, that area. Make it feel comfortable. We're going to put the block there and bring our shoulders underneath us for a restorative bridge. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just kind of like move it around to the spot where it does feel comfortable. It should be right like at the low back, right about where your tailbone is. And once you found that spot, close the eyes and release into the mat. Letting the hands flop open. Just a gentle opening for the front body here. We spend all day hunched over our computers or our phones, or mostly. This is a nice counterbalance, opening up the front body gently, gentle. We'll be here for just a couple more minutes, bringing the attention back to the breath. Whenever we notice our mind starts to wander, If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can bring the block out at any time and just come into our regular resting pose if that feels better. Otherwise, we'll stay here for one more minute. If you haven't done so already, let's gently lift up the bum and bring out that block and bring our legs open to flop open for Shavasana pose. And if this hurts the low back at all, you could use a pillow underneath your knees for the resting pose too. That should help take a little bit of stress off the lower back. Otherwise, hands flop open, eyes are closed. Once again, letting go into the mat. I invite you to stay in this resting pose if that feels good for you right now. Otherwise, when you're ready, keeping the eyes closed if you can, rolling on to one side, bringing the top hand to press your body up into a seat, ever so gently. Bringing that pillow for your seat if you have it nearby. One more minute. Bathing in this space. Hands can be on the knees. Eyes are closed. Focus on the breath. Gentle, natural breath in and out. Tonight, we've taken the time to release tension from the body, to make ourselves a little bit stronger, and to find ourselves in this present moment, perfect just as we are. Thank you. Thank you for practicing.